talk about managing your method and updating your method. There are times when, especially in LCMS, your retention time, for example, could change from batch to batch. How do you manage that using the application? Well, here I've concocted an example where, in this case, cocaine, looking at the retention time setup, cocaine has a retention time of 1.8. And if I look down at the extracted ions, you can see the ISTD, which is the deuterated, and the extraction window here, they're quite off. So let's assume the case where I've got retention times that are wandered a bit. I've got the update utility here, and I can either update the retention times, meaning I'll use this sample to find the best peak and match that retention time, or I can average. So let's try averaging. That would take the existing retention time, which is quite a ways off, and then average it with this particular sample. Again, I can do that either by compound, or I can update retention times just for the related ISTD. In this case, I'll just pick cocaine. And you'll notice that it's moved closer because it's averaged the point where it should be versus the point that it was in the, what I'll call, method that had the wrong retention time. And similarly, if I watch what would happen when I update with update retention times, again, this time I'll do it with all compounds, you'll see that the compound moves directly on top of its ISTD where you'd expect it. So that gives you a demo of updating retention times and averaging retention times. Now let's look at updating the method and the qualifier ratios. Here's update qualifier ratios. So here's another concocted example. I changed the qualifier ratio so it's off. So I look at the graphic and I can see this qualifier ratio is dropping out of the uncertainty band. So if it happens that your method, the qualifier ratios have changed, what you can do is come over to the method editor with a strong sample that has the ratios that you want, and then go update qualifier ratios. And as I've said before, you have the choice of updating by compound. In this case, I'm going to update only amphetamine, and you'll notice that when I do, the update ratios has put this dead on, of course. It's recalculated the ratios, and the ratio has fallen back to what matches the target and the qualifier ratios using this sample. And when I go back and apply this method, you'll see that that fits with the batch. Thank you for your attention.